incoming! Get behind me! Taking position at the main gate!
Hey guys, this is Drax, back with another guide, and this time we'll be looking at my favourite class, the Heavy. So pretty much what I want to do with this guide is show you a few star card setups, show you the way I play the class, and how to use each ability in what I would say is the correct way. I know a few people on my videos have been having trouble getting kills and battle points with the Heavy, but I'll show you easy ways to do both, and then you should be able to enjoy playing this class a bit more. So the Heavy fits in name because he has more health than any other class. A shield, a heavy blaster, and a heavy repeating gun as standard. The increased health over other classes allows you to take more damage and overall last longer in a lot of situations. Combine that with a heavy shield and you should come out on top. Now the shield can be used in two ways, one being proactive, so you activate it before you go into combat, and also reactive, where you activate it the moment you are engaged. I would advise a mix of two depending on the circumstance. If you're going to engage multiple enemies, get that shield up early. If one guy jumps you, hit the shield, spin around and put some damage on him. It's amazing how many times the class can win in this situation where the other classes would not. This of course falls into the bracket of an I win shield, but it really does work as long as the attacker focuses his fire on the centre of mass. Obviously if a Heavy does this to you, fire at the only parts not behind the shield, this normally being the legs. With just a final point about the shield here, when crouched with activated you actually gain more protection as you are smaller and your legs will be harder to hit. So now moving on to the heavy repeating blaster, otherwise known as the sentry mode. This is great for putting a ton of damage out through a small corridor or doorway. It doesn't do a lot of damage as standard though, and I think that is because it can be hard to hit on infantry. So I'll talk about a certain star card you need to use in a second to make this one become one of your best abilities. The Heavy class of course also comes with the impact grenade, and this is perfect for hitting enemies just around the corner or just hitting them dead on. Every time this is active it's like getting a free kill, so use it whenever the opportunity arises. Put it too close though and you'll damage or possibly kill yourself, so 1v1 medium distance impact grenade is perfect. And it can also be used last ditch to take an enemy with you if you are just about to die. So now for your main weapon, the heavy blaster. I've used them all a fair amount and I have friends which have different ones unlocked with their top level attachments, so I think I can give you a good idea of which one would suit you best here. Their starter weapons are okay, but in my opinion are not as good as the ones you can unlock. The DC-15 LE is a decent weapon performing well at most ranges. It's a high fire, low damage weapon which I personally feel is a bit weak. With the top attachment though, you can equip explosive shot onto this one, reducing fire rate but also making enemies easier to hit with the blast damage. It's one of the best attachments in game, but as it does reduce your fire rate, it could reduce your effectiveness in CQC as well. The FWMB 10K is unlocked after 200 kills or included with the Elite Trooper Deluxe Bundle. It's a hard hitting weapon capable of putting great damage out over range. With the night vision scope and the auto cooling attachment, you'll find this is one of the best to use while unlocking the heavy repeater. I really enjoyed using this weapon. I found that in a lot of ways it is the best all round weapon for the class. It doesn't do much wrong. And on to that final weapon, the TL-50 heavy repeater, my favourite weapon for this class. If you are having any trouble unlocking this one, then I do have another vid on my channel specific to this weapon, but this guide right here should also prove useful. Now the TL-50 isn't quite as good as it was in the previous game. It seems like Item Versio got that version. The heavy version is mainly for short to medium range, is excellent in CQC and pairs well with the reactive shield gameplay I talked about earlier. With this weapon you really do need to get up in the face of your opponent to make the best of it. The first two attachments for improved cooling and reduced spread are the ones you need to go with here. The secondary fire is a bit too weak to be worth using. When I have this weapon equipped I almost feel like I'm playing Assault with the CR2. People in general seem to have more ease playing assault, so the TL-50 with a heavy might be just what you want from the class. To compare to the assault's weapon, the CR2 does less damage per hit but works slightly better at range. So basically from that information you have to choose a weapon that suits the way you want to use the class. If you like good accuracy combined with the possibility of having a gun that does explosive damage, then the DC-15 LE is your choice. If you want the best all-rounder, I would stick with the FWMB 10K. And if you want to play more aggressively, similar to an assault class, then go with the heavy repeater when you have it unlocked. So now what about star card loadout? Well, here's how you can get the most out of this class. Number 1 card is the improved combat shield. You get more shield health and it recharges quicker. I've used this one since the beginning because it is simply perfect for the class. The second card I'd recommend is either the Bounty Hunter or Survivalist. I use Bounty Hunter because I like unlocking heroes fast and this card allows you to gain battle points faster, but if you prefer to live longer with a possibility of getting more kills, then Survivalist is the card for you. Perhaps if you are going for the 500 kills you need to unlock the TL-50, then this would be the better choice. The third card, and by far the most important in my mind, is the Supercharged Sentry. This takes a mediocre ability and turns it into what is probably the best one you have. With this card, the heavy repeating blaster will fire with explosive shot. You gain reduced damage to explosions yourself, and your health regens at a constant rate while active. The supercharged version of the Sentry is extremely good at taking out infantry and nets you so many battle points when firing at objectives. It truly is, in my opinion, the best card for this class. Check out the destructive damage and battle point earning capabilities in these clips right here.
Landing. Covering fire, go.
Now there are of course other cards available, and depending on how much you prefer one ability over another, you might want to load these out differently. But these are the cards that have worked best for me and the ones I think you will have the most success with as well. I would recommend crafting the cards you want to progress faster with the class. I was only using the ones I got in the crates at first, but once I've seen how good Supercharged Sentry can be, I crafted that card and I'm definitely sticking with it from now on. So that's my complete guide for using the heavy class right there. Hopefully you have found it helpful in some way. Any questions or thoughts, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll be back with more tips and guides soon, so as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.